Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hi,
How are you?
Jordan.
Good, how are you? I'm Jordan. How are you?
Hey, Jordan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Jordan.
Jordan, nice to meet you.
Let's go, Mike.
Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jesse. And we're at Guard. So, in 2020, my mom's car was broken into. She was at the gym and they got away with her purse, which had her wallet, her phone, everything she needed. And when the police were there, the criminal was long gone and they were unable to help her. Even when they caught the guy who they thought was responsible for the break-ins in the area, she had nothing to give them, to show them, to help out with the case. And car break-ins and car theft have been a big problem, recently especially. And we want to talk about who's affected and that problem.
Who's affected? The people who live in cities that have high theft rate areas, and people with valuable cars, and people that leave their car unattended while they're at job in the cities for hours on end and want to keep their car secure. And how are they affected? They could be getting affected by the cars getting broken into, having to repair those damages, wasting money on that, and valuables even getting stolen and injuries could occur. Our solution, our main goal is to keep your car as secure as possible from the comfort of your own home with 24/7 live audio technology. In our products, we have a full car coverage that has 5 mounted cameras on the car and has a 2-way audio and motion sensors, and we have a plug-and-play system that has all that, but it connects to the pre-existing cameras in older cars. Newer cars. Newer cars. Thank you.
Alrighty, so here is a model of our product. As you can see, those pink dots are clearly labeled. Those are the 5 cameras that we will have installed on your car. And what this allows us to do is to get a full 360 coverage of your entire car, interior and exterior as well. One thing we have added is a external battery, so that way that these cameras don't draw battery or draw power from your main battery. They draw power from an extra battery added on to it. Alrighty, so our UVP, our product aims to give a full audio, visual, and to give a full spatial coverage, a live audio and video of your entire car at all times, to keep you and your car as safe as possible. Alrighty, so our two competitions. We have one CompuStar. Now they do not allow for video, audio, or like spatial coverage of your entire car. And our other competition is Viper Car. They are just a key fob that does not allow you to use an app to connect to your phone, and they don't have that convenience feature that we do.
Okay, so for our TAM and SAM, our starting figure for our TAM is going to be 276 million, and that's how many cars there are in the US. Now, our first assumption is going to be that 91% of those Americans own a car. Our second assumption is going to be that 30% of Americans make over $100,000 a year. And our last assumption is going to be that 70% of cars on the road today are manufactured between 2000 and 2024. That'll bring us to our total units of 52 million and a total TAM of 47 billion. For our SAM, our starting figure is going to be 786,000, and that's how many cars there are in the DFW area. Our first assumption is going to be that 91% of those Texans own a car. Our second assumption is that 30% make over $100,000 still, and our last assumption is still that 70% of those cars were manufactured between 2000 and 2024. Our total SAM units are going to be 155,000, and our total SAM is going to be 139 million. Okay, so for our cost of goods sold, there's going to be one main difference between our two systems. So right here is our full coverage system, and this one's going to be coming with the cameras and the sensors that we're going to be installing inside of the vehicle. It's going to be retailing at $900, and it's going to have a profit margin of 25%. Our plug and play system, which is the one that we're going to be able to have our buyers install at home, is going to tap into those pre-existing technologies inside of those newer cars on the road today. And we expect that to retail at $500, and it's going to have the same 25% profit margin. Okay, so for our transactions, we plan on selling 387 products in our first year for a total of $280,000 just in revenue that first year. Here are two different ways to visualize it. Here are our transaction sales. This is by each product, so our full system and our plug and play. And then here is our piece of the whole where we can see which product takes most of our sales. All right, and we're also gonna have a subscription-based model to our product. So we are gonna have subscriptions to store the video that was captured on the car's cameras to a private storage server so that they can access that video whenever they need to, save it for later. We're gonna have 4 different lengths of subscriptions. We're gonna have the 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and 1 year. On the right here, you can see those 4 different subscriptions, how they're graphed and how they make up our subscription sales. Right here is the subscription sales for both of those products side by side. And finally is our subscription renewals, which we estimate our subscription renewals to be at 94%. So 94% of those people that are subscribing us, buying a subscription, will be doing that again. And then for our startup costs, our administrative costs are gonna include our LLC and our CRM. We're gonna also have marketing costs, which are gonna be like going to car shows. We're gonna have endorsements, so we're gonna talk to influencers, give away our branded material and everything. And then we're gonna have our development costs, which is gonna be like developing the app, all of that. That's gonna be very expensive, about $200,000. And then packaging and intellectual property. So for our startup inventory, it's gonna be $120,000. And we got that from our first 9 months of product sales, or projected product sales. And we're planning on restocking our inventory in month 9 of our first year. And then starting from year 2, we're gonna be on a 6-month restock basis. And our total startup cost is gonna be $413,000. So this is our 3-year summary, our projections for our first 3 years. And I'm just gonna hit on a couple highlights here. Our total revenue for year 1 is expected to be $298,000. Our gross profit margin and our gross profit margin is gonna be 34%, and our gross profit is gonna be $100,000, leading to our net income of $24,000 our first year. Now we expect that to grow by year 3. We expect our total revenue to be at $1.5 million, have a gross profit of $580,000, and a net income of $265,000. All right, and finally, our valuation. So our total startup costs are gonna be $413,000. We're gonna have a liquidity cushion of $140,000, and that will bring our total startup costs to $553,000. We're gonna be taking on $100,000 in debt. And our founders, us 3, are gonna be contributing $53,000 in cash equity to this business. And so we are gonna be asking for $400,000 in exchange for 20% of our business, for a total source of capital that matches our total use of $553,000. And here's our website if you'd like to check us out, but do you have any questions for us?
Actually, on your subscription, did you include your subscription costs and maintaining that memory in your cost of goods sold?
Yes, we have a subscription-based data storage, and that's gonna be just about $1 per subscriber just to store all of that, but our subscriptions are gonna start. I believe we have our subscriptions in the investor packet by price, but it's honestly just very minuscule. When you're storing that much data, it really doesn't affect the individual cost.
And then your debt of $100,000, have you taken into consideration repayment of that debt and that cost of goods sold?
No, we have not.
And will y'all actually have a storefront, or will y'all be a mobile traveling business?
So we have a couple ideas. So we obviously want to start like just right out of our garage, packaging these and trying to sell them out. But we think that there's a lot of like ways to expand our business. Like maybe if we could partner with a dealership, maybe we could get these installed on the lot with a new vehicle, or maybe even like the manufacturers themselves to have some of our technology maybe being implemented in newer vehicles that are coming out off the lot.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
So and I missed this, but the product, you sell the individual unit, and the subscription, is it included in that $500 cost, or you buy it and then you have to sign up for the subscription?
So for our initial cost, we're gonna be providing an initial free subscription, but after that first subscription ends, and that's gonna be the 1 year, after that first 1 year subscription ends, then it will need to be renewed.
Okay, and what is what is the renewal cost?
Well, it depends on just how long they want to renew. It's somewhere in the investor packet, but I'm sorry, I don't have a graphic up here on my presentation slideshow. But each month subscription length has a different cost attributed to it.
I have a question on your, maybe I misunderstood, but you can have, store the video for so many months. Is that correct?
So that's just the month is just for our subscription. That's just for our subscription lengths, but the video can be stored for however long you need that video to be stored for, as long as your subscription is renewed. So there's not really a length on how much you can store it.
Cause I was like, why do you really need it if nothing happened? So that's why I was like, how do you,
Yes, ma'am.
And do they own the equipment? So once they buy it, do they own those cameras on the car, or if they stop, do they have to send that back to you?
They fully own that equipment. Once it's installed in the car and they pay for installation, it's part of the vehicle.
Is the data from the video, is the video stored like in the vehicle and then it is uploaded? Like, is there how are you storing that? Is it through their deal, or is it?
So it's gonna be stored, so for that private information, there are companies that that store that information for you. And so basically we would contract somebody just to store that information, and with those, with the type of storage we want is, we don't want anybody, like even our company, having access to that video, so we want it to be like a solely accessible by the person who owns the car, and so it will be a completely like private server that only they can access their vehicle's audio.
So is it gonna be wireless, kind of like I have 100 cameras and they're all
Yes, it's
weird?
gonna be all through the internet, yes.
Yeah, cause so it's all attached to a wireless system like Sprint, those type of things. So have you taken that into consideration with your cost, or are you gonna come up with your own wireless
No,
internet?
with our cost, well, we would need our own, like the interior Wi-Fi system or some sort of cellular thing, but most cars already come with the interior Wi-Fi system, but we also will be able to install like the system to be able to transmit the videos and audio when we're installing like the actual cameras and products.
Sounds like you might have a customer out here.
They turn it off.
Yeah, I need to go pitch them.
On your mock-up in your pack, it shows your little car, with the cameras all mounted on the outside. I believe you did say something about internally mounted, correct?
Just one, and it isn't pink, but we do have one of those on our model, but I don't think it's in that image on it.
So the cameras are mounted inside the vehicle?
Just one of them. The rest of them are mounted outside. One is mounted right on the rear view mirror in the car, just to be able to see the passengers and everything. And that's obviously an option, but the outsides, the outside cameras are gonna be installed 2 near the door handles, one obviously above the windshield, and then one behind the car near the trunk.
And the audio is, you said the audio on this, what is the audio?
So the audio, we're actually using SkyDrop cameras, which come manufactured with 2-way audio.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we're gonna be able to link that so that you can hear and see from the camera points.
Okay.
So so the key piece is that we're trying to deter people from taking your things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there a part of that is like they get into a 5 meter or a 1 meter radius and you are alerted on your cell phone and you say, like, just like Ring does, right?
Mm-hmm.
It comes in and they say, hey, what do you want? Or hey, step away from the car. What is the deterrent factor?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have the 2-way audio, and
So you can talk to whoever's coming up to your
Yeah,
car.
if you get the notification that they are near your vehicle, or if you get like one of the notifications, because we have multiple sensors, like we also are installing glass brake sensors, and we're gonna be tapping into the vehicle's motion sensors already. So if any of those go off, your phone will be notified instantly.
And you'll be able to change the distance.
Yeah, you
Just
can,
like Ring does.
yeah, you can like change, you know, if you're in a very public area, you don't want like it going off when people are just walking past your car, you know?
Yeah.
And so you can set it to, well, maybe if they're just touching your vehicle, it'll go off, or if you're in your driveway, if they're even like 5 feet away, you want it going off and you want to be notified. But yeah.
How much, I'm kinda going back to the camera thing, how much thought have you put into like, if I'm driving an M5 BMW, do I wanna have cameras all around this vehicle? looking
How
at it?
big are they?
Yeah.
And it's like
How
something they
obtrusive
can
is
take
it?
off.
I don't drive an M5, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, we actually wanted to base ours off of the Tesla camera systems. I don't know if y'all have seen those, but have you even noticed the cameras on any Teslas? You can't see them at all. They're mounted inside through, and they put a plane of glass over them, so it's almost like completely like, yeah, not noticeable. So we want to implement it in a similar way to their system.
But I'm a thief, I'm just gonna, if I know where they're at, I mean, they're pretty smart,
Take them out.
they're gonna find them and just disable them, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully by the time that they're close enough to your vehicle, the police will be on the way.
You can hope that.
Yep. Maybe if your dial's fast enough.
So who's monitoring? Are you gonna have a monitoring system? I'm just thinking like in my house, I have Vivint,
Well,
and
it's,
it's monitored all the time, because again, we have teachers, they're in the classroom, they're not gonna pick up their phone every 2 minutes to, when something bings them.
yeah.
So, is there monitoring service available?
No, it's all gonna be similar to the Ring camera system. It's gonna be off the motion and everything like that, and it will send you that notification to your phone, but we don't really have a solution
But most
to
people
if they don't
have access
access
to it though.
Yeah, so if you have like a spouse or something, like if they have access to your vehicle, or even you're sharing the same plan as them, like if they're not near their phone, maybe a spouse can see it or something like that. Any other questions? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.